here. This could mean that we get Nick Aldis, full-time wrestler going forward. Hey, I'm happy and I'm loving it. And I do think all this could tie into something else that we'll talk about in this video. But it makes things very interesting. One, I'm excited to see Gunther versus Aldis one-on-one. Two, after SummerSlam, Adam Pearce runs both shows. Are they going to continue that? Are they just going to have it so that Pearce is the general manager of the main roster? I don't know, because it's a great opportunity to introduce somebody new, either on Raw or SmackDown. Pearce could just move over to SmackDown full-time, or he could remain on Raw. But you could get a second general manager, a new face in there, and shake things up a bit. And what I would love to see, and I don't have a specific name for you. If you do, please comment below. I wonder if they would go in the direction of a heel GM. Something that has been very played out. The general manager role has been played out for a very long time. I will credit WWE, though, because with Aldis and Pearce, I've liked, for the most part, they're kind of neutral take, right? They deal with the heels, they deal with the good guys, they're bringing stuff up. Adam Pearce always needs a drink, but they're relatively impartial. But it would make things more interesting and dynamic if you did have a GM like the old days of the Attitude Era with the McMahon, Helmsley era, and McMahon running things in the corporation. Maybe somebody who sides more on the TKO, right? And maybe leans towards the bad guys, maybe a little bit. I'm very curious about this Nick Aldis situation, how it plays out afterwards, win or lose against Gunther. Because you could also have something where it leads to a SmackDown versus Raw match at Survivor Series. We know Survivor Series will be war games. They love it. But they could bring back a traditional brand versus brand match, even one of them. But Pearce could get all of this power. They need to split it up. And they could result in a new GM taking on Pearce's Raw team, and they go head-to-head. Okay, but sticking with SmackDown for another minute here, because, and this is a little bit more of a prediction than it is anything that was kind of teased, but I thought it would be worth throwing in there. It's the dynamic between Fatal Influence and the Bellas and Paige. Nikki Bella made the return on SmackDown. She helped out Brie and Paige, and it's going to be a 6-woman tag at SummerSlam. Now, Paige and Brie Mode lost the tag team titles at Saturday night's main event to Fatal Influence, which I think was the right move. Yet Paige get rolled up in that match. She ate the loss. Nikki coming back because she's all healed up and ready to go. This could result in the good guys winning, but you do have the tag team champions there. You have a brand new, strong faction in Fatal Influence that I think they want to protect. And I don't think that Paige and the Bellas need to be protected all that much. They also got the win at WrestleMania. This is where I think that you could have Nikki Bella turn on Paige during the match or post-match. It's possible that Paige ends up getting pinned, rolled up again, causing the frustration for Brie because she's now lost twice, and Nikki's just had enough. So then you get the heel Bellas, and they take out Paige, and you have a future match of Paige versus Nikki Bella. It may not happen, but it's at least a story beat that would help them get to the next couple of weeks of TV, get into October before Money in the Bank. But there's another interesting theory that I have when it comes to SummerSlam, and it pertains to Sami Zayn. Now, as we saw on SmackDown, you had Sami Zayn blowing up at the camera, backstage, and at Adam Pearce. Finn Balor wins his match. You're going to get the #1 contendership at SummerSlam between Sami and Finn. But Sami's promo, to dissect it, to break it down a bit, Sami calls out, like, everybody. He gets mad that Punk mentions people's names and they get an opportunity in a fatal 4-way match. Sami gets mad that Cody Rhodes, just say when. He slides in, he gets his shot. CM Punk gets the title shot and wins the title against Sami. All these people just kind of showing up, and they just get these opportunities handed to them. Sami's frustration has hit a boiling point. He's sick of Punk, as he did in that shoot promo he did on Raw after losing the title. He was sick of Punk, frustrated that he just walked in and took it. And he's still frustrated. And now he's more angry with Adam Pearce because he has to earn his title shot despite being the former champion. So I feel like Sami could be the one to go over here on Finn in this #1 contendership. The other interesting piece that I'll highlight here is a little bit of a nugget, is that it has been a very, very long time since there's been a #1 contendership match at a PLE. I know we've had them at like Saturday Night's Main Event recently, but I'm saying like a regular, proper pay-per-view. They're doing it here. They're not doing it on a SmackDown. They're not saving it for 3-4 weeks from now or another PLE or anything. They're doing it at SummerSlam. It could just be that they want to round out this card and they need more matches that will get people interested. Punk and Cody is night 1 of SummerSlam. Sami and Finn is happening on night 2. So I don't think we would actually get Sami being involved in the Cody Punk match, because his match wouldn't have happened yet. But Finn could win.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
At National Heritage Academies, we help students discover what they can be.
An astronaut.
An anthropologist.
A dinosaur.
A lawyer.
But Polly will be
Courageous.
It's just as important.
And respectful.
Encouraging.
Compassionate. I want to be wise.
That's why we build our moral focus program into the challenging academic curriculum. Because at National Heritage Academies, we're elevating education and building character.
And that could go down a different path. However, we've seen Punk versus Finn recently. I feel like they've done more with Sami's character, giving him more to work with, than they have Finn Balor. But I do think it'll be a great wrestling match. Sami, though, on Sunday, if he wins, he could win one-on-one, straight up, no shenanigans, just as he even said to Adam Pearce. At the end of that match, though, you could see something change. Sami could have a new alliance. He could have Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae help him beat Finn, setting up maybe their new group as something. It's something to do with Johnny Gargano. Or maybe not. Maybe it is just Sami wins clean or Finn wins clean. And they end up having whoever ends up winning the night 1 match of Cody versus Punk. And that could be a SmackDown match. They save it for Money in the Bank. Who knows? But they at least have the opportunity to kick that down the road. And I think Sami getting that shot on Sunday is going to be interesting because it's going to move the next chapter for him. But other little nuggets that came out of SmackDown specifically was Damian Priest. He had just a little tiny throwaway thing with Cody Rhodes. Cody enters the frame.
Hot dogs. I like hot dogs.
He loves hot dogs. And Priest talks about how the boys are sick of it always being the same people representing the brand. This leads into Cody's promo that he does later with Punk. We'll talk about that. But Sami's sick of it. Priest is sick of it. The guys are sick of it, all in storyline. It could make that matter. They could play into that, adding more to maybe even Sami, maybe like a faction of Sami Zayn and people that are sick and disgruntled, frustrated with Cody always being at the top, Punk always being at the top. I don't know if it's necessarily a throwaway line. It could be. It's WWE. They could just be doing that and do nothing with it. But it does feel like they're trying to lean into that a little bit more. They have an opportunity there, not necessarily with Damian Priest, but if he's just kind of the first spark of this, it can lead to a lot more where you have more people resentful of the same people running at the top, which leads to the Cody Punk promo. Now, we don't need to go beat for beat, but we need to pull out some of the stuff that Cody did say, because there's some little hints, theories built in here that could be very interesting for SummerSlam and post-SummerSlam. During the promo, Cody says that, I don't like you, to CM Punk. The respect, the love, it's all been there. But he doesn't like him. Cody really, in essence, says in the promo that he's jealous of CM Punk because of the cheering, because of all the fans loving him, because when he went away, as Cody talked about, the pipe bomb happened, Cody went away, and during that period, Cody highlights, people would still cheer and chant for CM Punk. Cody also says in this promo, he's done apologizing, meaning he's done apologizing to everybody in the noise and the voices and everybody saying that it's always Cody Rhodes at the top, Cody's winning, Cody and his story, that they're sick of it. As Cody even highlights what Priest said to him earlier in the night, that people are sick of seeing the same people at the top running the show. And Cody is done apologizing for being successful. What's interesting is Cody is aware. He's aware of what people think. He's aware of his relationship dynamic with Punk, and aware of, obviously, how fans react to it, which could play into the direction they may go to the character involved. One thing I'll say is that with this promo, I didn't love it only because it felt like rehashing the same stuff, and we haven't seen any character development from either guy. And Cody, I feel, is desperately needing that. That may mean a heel turn, or it just may mean that character evolves a little bit more, beyond what we see every single week. So he also says one of the more interesting lines in here is that for this story to have a proper ending, I have to beat you at SummerSlam. Why a proper ending? A proper ending For Cody is the proper end. He needs to beat him. He doesn't like him. He needs to do whatever it takes to beat CM Punk. We've seen aggressive Cody. We've seen him do this. WrestleMania against Randy Orton. Randy Orton was the bad guy in that match. Bad guy, he was booed out of the winning in that match. And Cody, he was getting booed during the match because he was being very aggressive. He was taking it to Orton, part of that story, and it was a bit later to it. And they even addressed this in WWE Unreal, which take it for a grain of salt because it's unreal. But they are talking about how Cody went into that because they're pulling back into babyface mode after. Be more aggressive. Cody could in this match with Punk take it too far. Kind of like what he did with Orton. If he sticks with what he's talking about, he has to take him down. He has to beat him by any means necessary. The story needs a proper ending. Cody's already finished his story.
Taking his first shot. And his athleticism is big for sharp and close. And he can finish with either hand as well. So he'll get a lot of points down low there in his career. Pass to Harden.
So he tried. He tried. Every day. He tried.
You are not alone. There's a club called Earning, and with it, you get up to $150 a day with a max of $1,000. It's your pay. Your pay. Verify your identity. Spin this one right here, and put it right to your bank account. There's no credit check, no mandatory fees. Get what you need to make your day right. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Download Earn and make it payday.
Here's Lillard. Outside Holiday. Pass to Sharp.
You want the Will Cody story, but it would be a great little added moment to his character. It'd be more about him, and that this match needs to end.
Run that bag out.
That's the right thing.
Run that fucking bag out.
Be able to have the championship.
Run that bag out, nigga.
Do all the media, and Punk is not she doesn't like Punk. And at the very end of the promo, what I think is considered one of the more interesting pieces in the beginning. Could be absolutely nothing. Really that way. Punk that at the end of the match, the music will hit, he'll be staring up at the lights, and he wins the WWE Championship for a fourth time. So it was a 4. Could it mean that it is for a fourth WWE Championship to win? But he did linger. He did hold it up there for a bit. And I really started to tinker in my brain about what this could mean. Could you see the possibility, because it's all in theory, of a Cody Rhodes-led 4 horsemen? Cody throwing up the 4, not only to symbolize the 4th championship, but letting it hang there and maybe indicate they might give Cody a faction to spice things up. Doesn't mean that he's going to get Cody's bad guy, although it should be a great jumping off point. He gets people that are more aligned with his way of thinking. He recruits different people that work well alongside him, that are more pro-company, that want to climb the ladder. People are sick of seeing the same people at the top, and Cody brings in other people to climb up with him. But it's all under Cody. Cody paying homage to the past with the 4 horsemen, and you can recruit different members. Again, it's a complete wild theory, but it would expand Cody's character tremendously. It would give Punk new adversaries and new stuff to work with, along with other people that are trying to climb to the top and get involved in the title scene. You could add Ricky Saints, who's off TV and not doing much, but a close friend of Cody Rhodes. Somebody that could use it. I also thought you could add in Nick Aldis. You talked about he relinquished his control, former general manager, their history together. Nick Aldis being kind of more of the, I don't know, seasoned veteran of the group. I don't know who else he could add, but one person could be Randy Orton. Bring him back, add him to the group, and you got 4 people involved. It's a total wild speculative theory, but I like the idea of Cody leading something, leading new people or existing veterans, and it's him.
Who the fuck this nigga thought he was?
None of that stuff happens, because another theory is the possibility, rumors are out there all the time, that Brock could maybe he aligns with Cody Rhodes. Maybe Brock does his classic, go to the stage, and he does the throat thing and the counting of the fingers. Cody Rhodes throws up the 4 for no reason, and then you have The Rock and Cody aligned. CM Punk has a hatred for The Rock. All this time, you can resurface that, and The Rock can be much more of the TKO figure in the background, and not some
Shout out Dean Wayne, bro.
where he's
Welcome to Philly.
and moving things
Trash
around
ass
so that
nigga.
Cody is the one who's protected, and that gets your Cody Rhodes heel turn. Like they wanted to do before, but they made it John Cena.
Oh, shit.
Now you can properly do with Cody as his character.
Oh,
kind of on
shit.
a downswing, a little bit boring, and is not as interesting and compelling. And it gives Punk rejuvenation of somebody new, fresh, a really super
Oh,
guy
shit.
in Cody and The Rock. To really
Who
go
the fuck he thought he was?
Seth and Roman, because I had a similar thought to this. Seth and Roman doesn't really have any like Easter eggs and hints and teases that they're going to do anything drastic. No new groups forming, a heel turn, anything like that, because it's all about their history of the Shield and the dynamics for years and years. It's your night two main event of SummerSlam. You need something big, and that big thing could be setting up the next WrestleMania. If The Rock shows up, at the very end, he could confront Roman Reigns if he beats Seth Rollins. Roman holding up the championship, the place goes insane. They want big moments. Roman just beating Seth is a great way to end it, but it doesn't set up anything else. It doesn't surprise people. WWE and TKO want that big, shocking thing to happen, especially at these stadium shows. Especially if tickets are down. And the product is kind of, I'm not saying The Rock saves everything, but it gets everyone talking again. And that is what they want. And they want those social media hits and everyone talking about how wonderful this was and the big shocking moment at the end. If Rock comes out, he confronts Roman, and they can tease Mania 43. They can tease it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because the other piece that falls into all and has that title shot for one thing of the ring. He's made to choose that with Ola if The Rock is there or not. If The Rock is going to get confirmed to fight Roman at 43 in Saudi, because they dump all the money they possibly can at this thing in this this match to finally deliver it, Roman could get the Ola match done ahead of WrestleMania. If they know they have The Rock, Ola could still exercise his title shot, let's say at Survivor Series, or even the Royal Rumble, and have that match at a stadium. Ola versus Roman, Ola's champion, he moves on to Mania in a new title program, and The Rock and Roman is non-title. The other option, though, is because it's all based off of, well, The Rock's a little wishy-washy when it comes to Mania and getting involved. If you find out at the little last minute and The Rock is not going to get involved, maybe he'll show up at some point, but still, just doesn't get before where it shows up and nothing happens. If that happens, that occurs, then you still have the chance to do Ola versus Roman at WrestleMania for the title. Roman holds on to it, and Ola wins the Rumble, for example, and then there's your title program because The Rock just doesn't want to do it. But those are the theories for SummerSlam. What could happen, might happen. What do you think? Does any of this go down? Or is it going to be a bland, just predictable show? We'll wait and see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you can. It helps us out a lot. But click here. This is the full SmackDown breakdown of everything that happened. Have a great day. See ya. Get your hand raised like a winner with Bet365. New customers bet $10, get $150 in bonus bets.
From short range. And here comes Cleveland. They're on a 12-4 run. Mitchell.
Who the fuck you thought he was?
Blazers trail by 7.
I want SummerSlam this year to be an amazing show. I want twists and turns, huge angles, big moments. But I can't help but feel like it just might be a little bit of a mess. I have a list of things that could go wrong with SummerSlam. I don't want these things to happen. But it's WWE, TKO, we're in the Triple H TKO.
You ain't got it. Shop Club, 520.com. You get your merch, man. We got everybody here this morning. We got Teague, we got Bishop, we got excuse me, fellas. How y'all doing? All right, man. Hey, man, they've been doing a list of top 50 handles of the NBA season this past season. Man, go ahead, load up, see what we got here, man. Somebody requested that. Hell no. That's different circumstance. For sure. Charlie Dre though, man. That's it. Oh, man, he was already old though. Yeah. I'm just saying, they used to keep doing this type of dirty and amazing, though. I fuck with it. Gotcha. All right, man. Shout out to Sean, man. On the podcast, talking about LeBron.
It's not a great play. I'm a local great.
Back to Mitchell.
Now you tell me which if I'm right or wrong.
Working the ball around there.
Is it
Great
the Cavs front office group?
Wade's got 9
Kobe
points in the
Altman,
quarter.
Brandon Weems,
Oh, he's really
the
showing
Gilbert
off now.
family,
Threes
Frank
keep
Gilbert.
falling with no signs of slowing
Okay.
down.
Me with LeBron
The Cavaliers lead by 8.
in early July. Is that the most I couldn't say, you know.
So you thought this got 5 times, but he has all the details.
I think I myself, but like he never said anything to me about that. Nobody knew about that. I still don't know what he did until he always said,
James Harden pulls it down.
They should have made him lose.
What are you doing, Trey? We got to do Trey James.
And Harden is good for 3.
Better now. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to happen.
And some reports saying LeBron was surprised Donovan Mitchell was still there. I don't know what that meant.
11 points. They kept their concentration on Damian Lillard, and it's been working. And more NBA action on Sports.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. They said basically, I guess they're not moving Evan Mobley from Jaylen Brown, or them having the guard that he wanted because he really wanted to play with DG, more or less. Him and Harden put together. But I don't know what that was about. But if I'm thinking, I would have did whatever. And then Brown, to have 2 people to make a run, I would have.
They lead by 11.
That's insane. LeBron.
Takes a 3.
I don't think I would have gave him down to Mr. Brown. I would have figured out a way to get it.
That's horrible business.
Mitchell has
Absolutely. In a heartbeat.
That's what they get the rebound down for Donovan Mitchell is absurd.
By 14.
And if LeBron put up, you were championship. LeBron.
Oh, Christ, 50, bro. God, wow.
That's what we doing, bro. That's Brian, if he's serious, that's what we do, bro. Shout out to Don.
I mean, I get it, because they ain't going to win a chip nowhere.
Here's Klingon.
The team ain't got enough.
They all get it. So we do a quick go anyway. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Get a super chat, man. See what's going on. Jeff got the leaky WWE issues of all time. Mine is Shandy Man, loaded up blue. Look at that weak ass shit. Damn. Oh, you look blue.
Well, they expect this from him, and he's a big reason they're
Man, look at money or something like that.
He's finna look to the whiteboard for the rest of the game.
I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments.
Introducing QuickBooks with Intuit Intelligence. Ask questions to get instant answers and real-time insights that can grow your business. Whatever's holding you back, I'll do it with Intuit QuickBooks.
Try snacks from GoPuff. I'm at work and my day gets so busy I don't always have time to run out for snacks. So I love using GoPuff. It's an app that delivers everything from Shade.
There's nothing on Dirt Russell, my generation, nothing on Magic. Go out with Destroyer and lock him up. Damn. Unless you had on, you could. Yeah, that's true. You got passionate about that one. But
look at Golden State, and I ultimately don't think Brown was ever able to get over the history. And I understand it. I get it. What we all ultimately always do is like, that's the hurdle to go. But we live in a day and age where everybody who doesn't have anything to say has something to say. He's going to get crushed if he comes to the Warriors. Oh, man, you have to team up with Steph. Oh, you had to go to them. And I think ultimately that way they won the decision a lot. And I ultimately think that played a big role in the Warriors not letting go.
Hey, Kirk and Brian Windhorst are here with us now on First Take. Hey, Kirk, what's your reaction to what Draymond Green thinks about why LeBron didn't go to the Warriors?
That plays no part. The history of what they went through and the battles against with Cleveland and Golden State had nothing to do with LeBron James' decision. By the way, Like, let's be real here. LeBron James had one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. Okay, let me highlight that. But on top of that, LeBron James just shows one of the best landing spots that he actually can go and compete for a title. When you look at the Golden State Warriors roster, and I look at it from top to bottom, yes, you're going to team up with Steph. Yes, it's going to be must-see TV. But outside of that, it's too much uncertainty, right? When you think about Kristaps Porzingis and his health issues, when you look at old man Al Horford, although he's in phenomenal shape, and then when you think about Jimmy Butler, we don't know what Jimmy Butler is going to look like when he returns from the ACL injury. On top of that, you're in the stacked Western Conference, a tough Western Conference with Wemby, SGA, Ant-Man, and Luka in there. So, again, the best landing spot for LeBron James, in my opinion, was in the Eastern Conference, and it happened to be the Philadelphia 76ers. With more of the history playing a part in it, Draymond was the leader, and he knows.
So here's the thing, Kurt. I was sitting with Chuck, with Iman Shumpert, the day that LeBron announced he was leaving the Lakers. And when the Warriors came up, the face that he made, I mean, you know, like you were with the Cavs several of those finals, and Shump was there for 3 of them, including 16. Shump did not like the idea of LeBron going to the Warriors. So I think Draymond is maybe partially right. At the end of the day, I'm going to be on your side here. I think the Warriors weren't good enough. And bottom line, he's trying to win another championship. And if he thought the Warriors were good enough, he'd have gotten over it. Okay? And he goes to Philly because he thinks they're better than the Warriors. I mean, even the Warriors are admitting that they got some problems right now. But I do think that the scars from the Kevin Durant thing, everybody emerged from that situation scarred. The Warriors guys, Durant, lots of people take shots at them for that, even though I will defend KD on that till I'm out of his chair because I know how hard it was to beat that 17 Cavs team. But whatever. This is Draymond talking like someone who's got scars from the KD experience, and where people try to invalidate those titles and are taking shots at KD. I think on the pie chart, that was there. Only LeBron really knows. On the pie chart, it was there. It's not the biggest piece. I think Kirk is right. The biggest piece is the quality of the team, but I don't think it meant nothing.
And I think he was just going to go to Philly. And I think he showed some guts by going to Philly. Because the Philadelphia sports fan does not care what LeBron did with the Lakers or Cleveland or Miami. That is a 50 fan base. They're not interested. So he goes there, you know, his legacy is fine nationally, but the Philadelphia sports fan doesn't care about his legacy. I think that fan base is feisty. So as a result, he's got to go there and he's got to win. But I give him credit. Because he could have gone to Miami, nobody would have said a word. Riley, Spoelstra, Giannis. Could have gone to Cleveland, go back home, nobody could say a word. He's not home. Could have gone to Golden State, go to Curry, nobody would have said a word if he goes play with Curry. I wouldn't have said anything. He went to Curry, and I don't think the history of the Cleveland Golden State series had anything to do with it. I think he saw the Knicks haven't won in 53 years, and all the juice that provided. Philadelphia hasn't won in 43 years. I think he sees that as some fun. And I do think what Burke said, there's some truth to it. No San Antonio, no OKC. The East is far more wide open, in my eyes, than the West is. And I'll say one other thing that I've said a couple times this week already. People are going to think I'm crazy. I think this is actually good for the Knicks. I think the Knicks now will go into the season. Everybody will think about Philadelphia, think about Miami with Giannis, what the Celtics look like. And the Knicks like to play with a little chip on their shoulder. And it's almost like they're going to be a forgotten NBA champion. And I think that's going to make them be very alert for it. I think LeBron 80 miles away, big rival, Jaylen Brown there too. I think that actually helps them. So I think LeBron did the right thing. I didn't need 3.5 weeks waiting for it, but I think LeBron did the right thing. I think it's good for the NBA. And don't put the first game of the year for the Knicks. It's an 82 game schedule. Put it in the middle of the season when there's nothing going on this day. Yeah, we don't need Knicks Sixers in October against World Series.
It's been 4 times, dog. 4 times. We're going to win the first game, though. I mean, geez, we're going to watch the first game anyway. But I do think overall, I think the whole picture. I had a chance to talk about this
there's something dying to say. I think the whole idea is LeBron and Philly is very good for the NBA.
Okay. I tend to agree with you guys. I think it had more to do with anything that how competitive the West is. The East just feels a little bit more wide open. However, the Warriors now, okay? They're essentially returning a team that looks very much like the one they had last year. They have not signed any new players during the offseason outside of the draft. Where do the Warriors now go from here, Wendy?
And so Henderson will bring it up for the Portland Trailblazers.
They go play their 82 games. The people are asking the question, what is this team for the Warriors? And the last 3 years, guys, they finished 10th, 8th, and 10th. This is not a change their situation, and adding one player that they were able to get. The reason LeBron was an impact player was that he was going to be on the minimum, and they could have added him to their team. They are big game hunting. And look, this is like fishing, I guess. I'm not a fisherman, but I hear about it. I read about it. You sit there and with the line in the water, and they've got a big piece of bait there, and they're trying to get somebody to take it. And it's an extraordinarily unsatisfying feeling to sit there with your bait in the water, and you go for Giannis, and you go for Jaylen Brown, and you go for LeBron, and you go for Anthony Davis, and you go for whoever next, and you keep getting told no. As I assume it is when you're fishing and you sit there for hours and get nothing. But that is their pathway forward. And I'll just say this. I said it again, it is something to keep an eye on. I don't think it's going to make me excited if I'm a Warriors fan. If Steph Curry is willing to put off his extension, and I'm not suggesting that he should or will or anything like that, but if he's willing to just wait and let his money come off the books, and Jimmy Butler's money comes off the books, and Draymond Green's money comes off the books, and they wait on extending Brendan Podziemski, they could have $100 million plus in salary cap space next summer. And they could all of a sudden be a team that people want to go to when they start having action. And they would have these draft picks they could use to barter to bring players in. And
just download Date. You can by over $500 in 5 minutes or less. Date helps you with your meeting menu, and there's no credit check, interest, or late fees. Please settle up later. Download it now to get some money.
Back to Harden. Cleveland working the ball around now. Getting up and then throwing it down. Pass to Lillard. Back to Holiday. Three-pointer.
Look, that's Curry at 39. I'm not saying it's going to be magic dust, but if you're asking me what's going on for Warriors, I would keep an eye on that concept.
Back to Wade.
Well, let me say this. Mike Dunleavy is on the clock. All right, Mike Dunleavy is on the clock. Like, since he's taken over that position, since the departure of Bob Myers, he really hasn't done anything, to be honest with you. They have failed Steph Curry. Bob Myers walked away from the Golden State Warriors, started doing a podcast with a rapper, came on to ESPN, was working alongside us, and then went on and took a role with the Philadelphia 76ers and still managed to beat out the Golden State Warriors for LeBron James. At some point, we can't just keep talking about them trying to go fishing and they throwing the bait out in the water. We're talking about Steph Curry. Like, you got to get it done. You just traded away Jonathan Kuminga last season, a guy that you drafted in the lottery that they gave up on, and now all of a sudden you're sitting here while the West is getting better, while the San Antonio Spurs, who just went to the NBA Finals, added Tobias Harris to their roster without giving up anything. Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be there. LaMelo Ball just went to Minnesota. Like, everyone is making powerful moves while Mike Dunleavy is just sitting there on his hands. And at some point, he has to be on the clock. The pressure is on him to do right by Steph. Wendy, you just highlighted that Steph Curry is going to be 39 years old next year. Or this season, like Steph is not just sitting around saying, I want to play for fun.
A lot of aggressiveness and intensity. Oh, stolen by Harden. And there's the foul. It'll go on Shaden Sharp. That'll be a second foul of the game.
And let's face it, they won't get back in the game with fouls like that. Left side Mitchell. Outside Harden. It goes. Jam that one home. This is what winning is all about. Playing your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got guys on this team, and they never let up.
There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Puts up a three. Portland with a rebound. And it's Jared Allen with the foul. That's his first foul.
Take your money to the next level with high-yield cash from Robinhood Gold. Sign up now for just $5 a month.
Something that works. This is exactly why you gotta be a back to Harden. And they come right back with the three-pointer. Excellent effort on the win. They clearly sucked the energy out of this arena.
Yeah, and winning games on the road is hard, especially when you get them in such a convincing way.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Harden. You can tell the moment the pass left his hands, he knew he messed up.
So there's a Draymond Green tape circulating around the NBA world, and it's if I'm BJ, I'm not sure I'm happy with some of that 76ers have had, but you go from being sometimes second option when Embiid was out to sometimes being the third option. I don't know if you all understand like how big of a difference that is. He also stated that BJ has to guard the opposing team's best guard every single night.
He concludes that a lot could be happening at SummerSlam and the fallout. I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning. I rolled out of bed. I looked out the window and I realized LeBron James is still a Philadelphia 76er. Oh! LeBron James is still a Philadelphia 76er. Everybody Nation, what is good? Sicko Nation, what is good? We got some things we're going to talk about, man. LeBron James just revealed the reason he actually signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, and it's one of the reasons that I knew he was going to sign with the Philadelphia 76ers, but it's not a reason that any of the mainstream media is talking about. Actually, they talked about a whole bunch of different reasons that he would go to Golden State or Cleveland or Miami, or they tried to talk themselves into Minnesota. Some people even talked about fucking Indiana. We're going to talk about all of that. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button for me one time. Give me 1 million likes on this video. If the 76ers are a championship contender this season because they added Jaylen Brown and LeBron James and got rid of that loser Paul George,